Welcome to Augmented Voices. We're the place where we unpack the most compelling insights from the incredibly fast-moving world of generative AI. Today, we're looking closely at something that really gets to the core of trust, empathy, and innovation, how generative AI is changing business. And we're going to focus particularly on the impact it's starting to have in financial services, in tech generally, and for small and medium enterprises right here in the UK. So to kick things off, let's look at this really interesting case, maybe a bit controversial too. A United Nations affiliated research team created an AI persona, a fictional woman, Amina, designed as a digital avatar, not just text. The idea was to represent a Sudanese refugee, build empathy around refugee issues. But the public reaction wasn't exactly straightforward, was it?
No, not at all. What's really fascinating is how the tech itself, quite advanced, using synthetic media, large language models to seem human-like, hit this immediate kind of wall of public doubt. A lot of people just instantly asked, why use complex tech to tell stories real people are already living, stories of real struggle? And this throws up a big question for any business thinking about AI personas. Just because the technology can mimic a human experience, does that automatically mean it should?
Right. So what's the message there from that initial reaction? Especially for, listeners maybe running an SME or working in a big financial firm here in the UK. This isn't some abstract experiment happening far away, is it? It feels like a real indicator of how Gen AI is already influencing branding, fundraising, public perception right here. But that Amina case suggests that tech is powerful, but the human side, the reaction, is incredibly delicate.
Oh, absolutely. Delicate is the right word. And if you think about sectors like financial services where trust, empathy, clarity, they're not just nice-to-haves, they're fundamental sticks. The risk of getting AI personas wrong is, it's massive. It's like walking a reputational tightrope. People need to feel genuinely understood, particularly with money or sensitive stuff, not just sort of approximated by code. We saw discussions around this from firms like Illuminate AI, grappling with these exact issues. They recognize the cleverness of the tech, sure, but also the potential reputational landmine. If that tone isn't absolutely spot on, it can just immediately feel exploitative or completely out of touch. And that's poison for industries trying to build or maintain public trust.
Yeah, that's a really strong point about false intimacy. It's almost like hitting an uncanny valley, but for trust, isn't it? You get close to seeming real, but then one wrong note and bang, the whole thing feels hollow and trust collapses. So what are these specific risks businesses need to watch out for with AI personas? It sounds like serious ethical red flags, big reputation challenges, maybe even this new kind of simulated empathy gap.
You've nailed it. First, the ethical red flags. Using AI to speak for real people, especially vulnerable people, or, having a bot simulate trauma that's incredibly difficult ground. For financial services firms, with their duty of care, it's especially sharp. Second, reputation. Definitely. If you deploy AI personas in customer service or marketing and they mess up, maybe an AI script handles a complaint really badly, the backlash can be instant and severe. We're talking a proper media storm, difficult for any UK firm to manage. And third, yes, that false intimacy. Simulated empathy often just feels empty. In sensitive areas like finance, where real emotions are involved, the second it feels off or inauthentic, you risk losing that customer's trust completely. It's not just a bad script. It's the algorithm fundamentally not getting human emotion. That's the gap.
That does sound quite sobering, but couldn't you argue? Isn't there a case that in all the digital noise today, maybe a carefully done AI persona is the only way to actually cut through, to reach an audience that's just saturated? Is the risk always bigger than the potential benefit? I'm just wondering, it can't all be downsides and warnings, surely. There must be smart ways to use this opportunities if you approach it carefully, leading with, clarity and a conscience.
That's a fair challenge. And it brings us to the important question. How do we use this tech positively, knowing its limits? Looking across various analyses, from tech journals to industry reports, three key opportunities seem to emerge. One is scenario simulation, using AI personas internally for training. Imagine training teams on handling really tough customer chats, debt issues, fraud cases, major life events needing real sensitivity. This kind of simulated role play, using quite sophisticated conversational AI, can build genuine skills, real resilience, not just a veneer of sympathy. Second, funding narratives. A bit like the UNU idea for donors, maybe an SME here in the UK, say a tech startup in Manchester pitching for investment, could use an AI avatar avatar to demo a product use case or simulate market reactions. But this is crucial. It has to be absolutely crystal clear that it's fictional, no ambiguity. And finally, AI avatars as accessibility tools. They can be powerful explainers. Think about breaking down complex things like mortgage terms, pension rules, or fraud warnings into simple, plain English, maybe with a more relatable tone. The absolute golden rule, though, the non-negotiable part, is transparency. You can never, ever pretend they're human. That's the only way to maintain trust.
Transparency, right? That makes total sense. That has to be the foundation. So pulling all this together, the potential, the serious pitfalls, what's the ultimate acid test for a decision maker? Someone in finance, tech, an SME leader here in the UK thinking about using AI personas, how do they know if they're landing on the right side of that tricky line between innovation and, well, insensitivity?
It really boils down to one straightforward question, a kind of litmus test before you go live. Would I feel completely comfortable standing up in front of my own team, my board, or, critically, a regulator like the FCA, and explaining exactly how this AI interaction was built and why we chose to use it this way? If the answer isn't a clear, confident yes straight away, then it's probably time to pause, go back to the drawing board. This isn't about being afraid of AI. It's about being smart with it, really smart, and fundamentally human about how we deploy it. That line between genuine innovation and accidentally causing offense or mistrust, it's razor thin. And getting it wrong will be remembered by everyone.
So we've journeyed through this complex area of AI personas today, from the ethical tightropes of representing human experience to the potential strategic uses in training and communication. I think the core message for you, listening, seems clear. Gen AI has amazing power to educate, to personalize, to engage, but using it demands a really thoughtful, very transparent, and ethically grounded approach. It's about wielding that power without losing the genuine human connection that ultimately we all look for.
Yeah, stepping back, the bigger picture here is that AI's true value isn't just its capability, what it can technically do, but how intelligently, how responsibly we decide to actually use it. The next wave of AI absolutely could help businesses transform in powerful ways across the UK and globally, but only if we keep a firm grip on reality and stay committed to authentic human connection. The most advanced AI, surely, should be in service of humanity, not trying to somehow replace it.
Thank you for joining us on Augmented Voices. We really hope this exploration of AI personas has given you some valuable things to consider for your own business or even just your daily life interacting with this tech. Perhaps the final question isn't just if AI can convincingly mimic human connection, but maybe what these attempts at simulation actually tell us about our own deep need for real empathy in an increasingly digital world. Something to ponder. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay curious.